Alexa, where is Brian Landry?
Here's something I found on the web. According to Inquisitor.com, Brian Landry was later found guilty and sentenced to 25 years to life in a California correctional facility.
So I've taken some road trips, and some of them have been great. Some of them haven't been so great. A lot of times the reason they're not so great, if I take them with others, is there's people who are less desirable to travel with, and you're constantly fighting, or they're just not very fun and they're not easy to get along with. So those can make trips less desirable. But obviously there's this story about Brian Landry and Gabby Petito, which I wanted to discuss what my theory is, what has happened. So Brian has pleaded the Fifth Amendment, has gone into hiding. Recently they searched his house, they didn't find him, they thought he disappeared, and there's a 2 missing person alert, but his attorney said that he's gone into hiding because his life is somewhat at risk with people protesting outside of his house. So a lot of times when people plead the Fifth, they're guilty, and they speak with only their attorney because they don't. If they say one wrong thing, they're going to go to jail for the rest of their life. And obviously, if he doesn't say anything, he's not lying. He's just pleading the Fifth, which is his constitutional right. Obviously, I think that they got into an argument, and probably he, killed her. Maybe it was an accident, maybe it was on purpose. But I know it's difficult to travel with people who are challenging to be with, and probably he was more challenging, given that he's the one that has returned and she's not returned. But yeah, so this is just be careful with who you associate with and who you're involved with romantically. It's a tragic story. Well, it's not yet been determined that this is what has happened, because there's been no trace of her body, and he's not speaking with police. Brian Landry is not. But obviously in the Tetons in Wyoming, there's a lot of land there. There's probably a lot of water that he could have, put her gone canoeing and put her at the bottom of a lake. They'd probably never find her. So they'd probably never find the body. Now another alternative, this wasn't so dark and she could potentially be alive, is obviously they had a travel blog, and maybe they had the idea that if one of us disappeared, it's going to make us be all over the news, which they're right. It has done that, and they just did it for attention seeking. So in a month, she's going to come out and say she was lost or whatever, and get up their view count on the blog that they created. So that's my more optimistic theory, but probably more likely he killed her. He returned with the van to Florida. Now he's in hiding, pleading the Fifth. So that's what I think happened. But it's going to be interesting to see what actually does transpire in this case. I've really been drawn to it because I love road trips and traveling, and yeah, it's kind of a cool thing to think about, driving around the country with your fiance. But I hope she's alive and well, but my gut just kind of tells me she's not, given the situation.
Alexa, where is Gabby Petito?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.